How do you deal with your perception of a participant in ceremony and outside ceremony?
What belongs to ayahuasca must stay in ayahuasca.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of things, you feel a lot of things in the practice, the way I was taught, because there is an exchange. Some people do ayahuasca and they sit in a room and someone put music. There's not really a personal interaction between the leader or the guide is not directly involved with the participants. The participants have their own experiences induced by the tea. In the context of, Peruvian Amazonian shamanism or vegetalismo, the guide or the ayahuasquero guides the ceremony with the singing. And it's not only he sings, but usually he also helps the people lift the weight they cannot lift. That's how the healing happens. And in that lifting process, you see a lot of things that are not really cool. You see a lot of darkness, you see a lot of resistance or presences, and they manifest in the vision in a very negative way. So it's hard sometimes to deassociate that with a relationship you can have in normal life with someone. And it's just through experience, you just learn to have compassion and realize that we all have our own ego, we all have our own weight in life, we all have our own stories. And it's not because you're a guide that you're any different in any ways. You also have your own stories and your own struggles. As a guide, I just have a certain capacity in a certain context to see some things that you cannot see about yourself. And, I cannot be attached too much by it. It has been difficult sometimes, or it is difficult to have a normal conversation after a very intense ayahuasca ceremony where you do some very intense healing, or you've been involved with some very dark aspects of someone's personality, and the next day they're just totally cool about everything, and and you cannot really relate to it because it belongs to the ceremony. So at some point they will be aware of it, and at some point they will shift also their own perception about themselves. But sometimes they cannot. Sometimes they're not ready yet. You see things before even they're able to see it. So it's an interesting muscle, I would say, where you just have to learn to let go and let what belongs to the ceremony, and it's through times that I've learned how to do that. Initially, I had a lot of difficulty. Initially, I was seeing a lot of dark stuff or negativity and was involved with it. And I looked to my peers, I looked to my elders and asked, what do I do with this? How do I deal with this? And as you move forward in the practice, you get stronger, and you don't want to be attached to that human aspects. You want to see the greater potential in every human being.